What if the reason you don't have more friends has nothing to do with personality, and everything to do with a hidden change in society nobody talks about? Most people believe friendship is simple. If you're friendly enough, confident enough, or interesting enough, you'll eventually find your people. And if you don't, well, maybe you're too shy, too busy, too awkward, too different. At least that's what many people tell themselves. But what if that's completely backwards? What if millions of people are struggling to make friends not because they've changed, but because the world around them has? Here's something strange. We live in the most connected time in human history. You can talk to someone on the other side of the planet in seconds. You can join communities with a single click. You can carry thousands of contacts in your pocket. And yet, loneliness continues to rise. Millions of people say they have fewer close friends than they did a decade ago. Many say they have none at all. How is that possible? How can a world filled with connection produce so much isolation? The answer isn't what most people think. Because friendship isn't disappearing, the conditions that create friendship are. And once you see those conditions, you'll start noticing their absence everywhere. Think back to how your closest friendships actually started, not how they grew, how they began. Most likely, it wasn't because you carefully analyzed someone's personality. It wasn't because you searched for the perfect friend. It wasn't because an algorithm matched you together. You simply kept seeing each other, again and again and again. Maybe it was school. Maybe it was a sports team. Maybe it was a workplace. Maybe it was a neighborhood. At first, they were just another person. Then they became familiar. Then comfortable. Then important. Most friendships don't begin with chemistry. They begin with proximity. This is one of the most overlooked truths about human relationships. Researchers have repeatedly found that simply seeing the same people over and over dramatically increases the likelihood of friendship. Not because those people are perfect, but because familiarity creates trust, and trust creates connection. For most of human history, this happened automatically. You saw the same faces every day, the same neighbors, the same coworkers, the same shopkeepers, the same community. Friendship wasn't something you actively searched for. It was something that emerged naturally from daily life. But modern life quietly changed the equation. We move more often, work remotely, order food through apps, shop online, stream entertainment at home, spend hours interacting with screens instead of people. None of these changes seem significant on their own, but together, they remove countless tiny interactions from everyday life. And friendship depends on those tiny interactions far more than most people realize. Imagine trying to grow a tree while removing a few drops of water every day. Nothing dramatic happens at first. The tree still looks healthy, but over time, the effects become impossible to ignore. That's what's happening to friendship. The change was gradual, almost invisible, yet incredibly powerful. But this isn't even the biggest reason people struggle to build friendships today. The biggest reason is far more surprising. For most of history, your social options were limited. You knew the people around you. Those were your people. You invested in them because they were there. Today, we're surrounded by endless possibilities. Thousands of profiles, thousands of communities, thousands of potential friendships. That sounds like an improvement. But human psychology often behaves in strange ways. When options become infinite, commitment becomes harder. Think about standing in front of a restaurant with 3 menu items. Choosing is easy. Now imagine a menu with 10,000 options. Suddenly, every choice feels worse. What if there's something better? What if you're missing out? What if the perfect option is somewhere else? That same mindset quietly affects friendship. You meet someone interesting, you enjoy talking to them, you could invest in the relationship. But your brain whispers something dangerous. Maybe there's someone better, someone funnier, smarter, more successful, more compatible, more like you. So instead of going deeper, you keep looking, and the search never ends. Because perfection doesn't exist. Real friendship requires something many people have forgotten: acceptance. Not finding the perfect person, choosing an imperfect person repeatedly. But there's another hidden problem, one that almost nobody talks about. Many adults think friendship should happen naturally, effortlessly, the way it seemed to happen when they were younger. And when it doesn't, they assume something is wrong. What they don't realize is that friendship never felt effortless. The effort was simply hidden. School forced people together. Sports forced interaction. Clubs forced participation. The environment did most of the work. As adults, the environment disappears. Now, friendship requires intentional effort. You have to send the message, make the invitation, suggest the coffee, follow up, reach out again. And that's where many friendships die before they even begin. Not because people dislike each other, because nobody wants to be the one who tries. Imagine two people who genuinely enjoy each other's company. Both would like to become closer friends. Neither wants to seem needy. Neither wants to risk rejection. Neither sends the text. Months pass. The opportunity disappears. Neither person realizes they were both waiting for the same thing. Modern loneliness is often less about rejection and more about hesitation. But the deepest reason friendship feels harder today may be cultural. For decades, we've been taught to admire independence, self-sufficiency, personal achievement, individual success. And while those things have value, they can quietly distort how we think about relationships. We begin treating friendship like an extra, something nice to have, something that fits around life. Instead of recognizing what humans have always known, relationships are life. For thousands of years, belonging wasn't optional, it was survival. Your ancestors didn't thrive because they were independent, they thrived because they were connected. Your brain still carries that ancient wiring, which explains something fascinating. Many people today have more social contact than any generation before them, yet feel less connected. Because contact and connection are not the same thing. You can receive hundreds of messages, thousands of likes, endless notifications, and still feel profoundly alone. Algorithms are excellent at generating interaction, but terrible at creating belonging. Belonging comes from shared experiences, shared memories, shared struggles, the moments that slowly transform strangers into trusted companions. And this brings us to the biggest misconception of all. People often say friendship is dying, but friendship isn't dying. The desire for friendship is stronger than ever. Look around. People are desperately searching for connection. They're joining communities, listening to podcasts, watching videos like this one, trying to understand why something feels missing. The real problem isn't that people no longer want friends. It's that we've accidentally dismantled many of the environments that once created them. That's a very different problem. And it's actually good news, because it means the solution isn't becoming more charismatic, or more attractive, or more interesting. The solution is simpler. Create the conditions where friendship can grow. Show up consistently. Be around the same people repeatedly. Give relationships enough time to develop. Accept imperfection. Make the first move, then make it again. Because the person who becomes your closest friend 5 years from now is probably already somewhere in your life. A coworker, a neighbor, someone at the gym, someone you barely notice. The friendship isn't missing because the person is missing. The friendship is missing because the repetitions are missing. The invitations are missing. The small moments are missing. Most people wait to feel a connection before investing effort. But friendship usually works the other way around. The effort creates the connection, not the reverse. And maybe that's the hidden truth. We keep asking why nobody has friends anymore, when the better question is this: have we accidentally removed the very conditions that create friendship in the first place? Because if friendship once emerged naturally from repeated human contact, and modern life quietly reduced that contact, then loneliness may not be a personal failure at all. It may simply be the predictable outcome of a world that became incredibly efficient at everything except bringing people together. And perhaps the strangest part is this: the solution to one of modern society's biggest problems may not be something new. It may be something we've forgotten. Because friendship has never been built through perfect people. It has always been built through ordinary moments repeated often enough to become extraordinary. This is Cognitionary, where ancient wisdom meets modern psychology. If this made you question something you've always believed, stay curious. And if you want more ideas like this, you know where to find us.